Okay, so this is a vehicle recovered in with a reported electrical fault or possibly brakes failed. Now that's the AA report. And the drivers reported grinding and clunking noises, then a loss of power. If it helps, question mark. This is basically what we have to deal with when we're dealing with breakdowns in vehicles that are just handed to us. So I'm looking at the AA first of all and seeing what they're doing, and I actually dug in and found a load of DTCs. Now this is next week's video. Like I say, it's next week's video. I'm going to explain this and what I found, and it'll be interesting, but this video is not about this. However, keep your attentions tuned to this channel because we've got stuff coming up. Hello guys and girls, welcome back to the vehicle repair toolbox videos. Now there's something that we're always trying to do is to get a electrical connector that is waterproof, and snapping connectors are becoming more and more popular. In fact, they're used almost exclusively on all vehicles. Heat shrink also for repairs is used, and what I'm going to do is a quick one about the super seal that we find more and more that are turning up on HGV vehicles. You will find them on all automotive products. Now this one happens to be a junction box, which is more of a junction plate. So basically what it is electrical terminals that have been sealed by yellow rubber sealers, and they are effective. Surprisingly, they are effective. Now you need a specialist tool. I've got one from Sealy. This happens to be a Super Seal Series 1.5, this certain connector. Part numbers here, and you get a kit. Sometimes you can buy them individually, it can be quite pricey. We also get supplied extra connectors if we just need to replace the connector, which is not very often. I must say these are effective. The yellow rubber seals, they are in fact waterproof to a point, unless of course you have a dodgy connector, which isn't very often. So basically they snap in like this into the block. Okay, and you can remove them, you can service this connector, so it has longevity, so the cost is actually worth it. This little red thing is a bit of a pig actually. This holds the connectors in. If it's seated right and assembled properly, it should never have a problem. And of course these ones have to have heat shrinks on them as well. Right, so basically have a lamp, it snaps into place and it seals. Okay, this should outlive the life of the side marker, so all you need to do is pull the side marker off and refit another one. And of course there are other applications for it. Now I'm going to show you in my toolbox just quickly that I have a power probe, and we'll have to play with this at some point along with the kit. And what I've made up here as an extra is a test piece of equipment. I'll just plug it into a lamp and then I can power it up, see if it works. Yeah, get the idea. So basically if you want to fit extras to your vehicle on the exterior, you can use a super seal. So the other thing that actually these have been out a long while. They're the type of lamp that you lose. Fitters always seem to forget them on vehicles. They're magnetic, they mount up and they have a cob LED. This one's about £36, but you can buy them a lot cheaper from supermarkets. They do give off a lot of light. I'm surprised. You can see the throw that's here. Good for inspections, good to mount somewhere if you can attach it to something steel. And it will give you a decent light throw, and you can see by this what sort of light you're actually getting. Now they're excellent for inspections, looking under your vehicle, and you can attach them by magnet or hang them and get on with the job. This one here, it was the best I've ever had. I'm gonna have to get another one, but in the meantime this is one, it happens to be work supplied, so I'll make do with this for now. So yeah, I can't complain about this one because surprisingly they have got better and better. Okay, so what I've got here is a very expensive tool for what it's worth. I think I paid about £27 for this. However, what this has is a brake pad thickness, and it actually measures the whole thing but gives a space for the thickness of the backing material. Okay, so I've got a Fuso canter here, a Mitsubishi canter, and it has double calipers on all wheel stations. Got to get the depths of these, so basically we always seem to measure the inner pads And what the tool does is that you find the edge of the brake pad, you push the prod to where the disc is, and then it will measure the entire thickness of the brake pad. Okay, since it has a space on it, it already is the metal backing plate, so anything marked above that is the thickness of the wear material. These happen to work out at 12 millimeters, and that's even right the way across the vehicle. Okay, so I'll just bring this camera up here. You can see where the heel is. Can you see that? Okay, the heel's on the back of the pad, and then the other bit, the prod, is touching the brake disc. Okay, so if you didn't see that very clearly, I'll just do that again. Okay, you can see the disc beyond there. And basically, yeah, it can be a little bit fiddly. It's hard to get into some places, but that's how you measure. It's easy. So there you go, 12 mil. Just for your information, on this particular 14 plate, the EOBD socket is down here next to the steering wheel. And yes, it did take a little bit of time to find, even though it might be quite obvious. This one had a mill light on, something related to the turbo, and this is going to have to go back to Mercedes under warranty. However, cleared the codes and give it a road test just to see what it was like, and yep, that's been sent off. Okay, so high-powered air guns, they tend to smash the couplings after a while. They just rattle them. Use a whip lead, okay, like this. This will stop the coupling from falling to bits. Anyway, this leads very nicely onto sockets, is what I want to talk about, impact sockets in particular. So in my small temporary box, what I have is a load of 1/2 inch, 3/8 and 3/4 sockets. One of the ones you can spot straight away that's worn, okay, if you ever buy sockets, is something like this. Yes, they do come as this shape, but not as bad as this. You can see this has had a battering. This is the job it does, which is doing wheel nuts up all the time. It's used, I could say, every single day, and it's had it now. I've got to now find a new one. It's worn in both areas. It should have looked like this. Okay, so you can get the idea how badly worn it actually is. Yes, you do get sockets shaped like that, as I said, but it's this one isn't. So I'd be very, very wary of sockets that start to wear up at the corners, okay? Now, one good or excellent heavy-duty quality sockets are Deltek. And we use these in the workshop. This is a UK company, socket makers. You can order them online, and the sockets are very, very durable. You can see here on the inch drive gun, the workshop sockets are highly abused, highly overused, and they don't crack, and they take a long time to wear up. Okay, so it's just a thought. Deltek, I'll scream from the rooftops about them. I have actually got quite a few different types of makes of things in my box. Star Willy here, okay, or Steel Willy, however you want to say it, not brilliant. Okay, the German made, this adapter snaps from time to time. The quality is not brilliant. I always use a snap-on wherever I can get it. Yes, they are good, they're expensive. And the thing is, they do specialist sockets that you can't get anywhere else. Okay, now this is a 24mm swivel, which I do a lot of brake chambers, take the nuts off because they're hard to access. I'm just trying to show you here that actually says snap-on. There we go, made in the USA. And yes, as far as I know, they are actually made in America and not from Chinesium. Okay, I do have cheaper ones as well, like these. These are always getting stolen or missing. Franklin's that came off eBay. This one's a 65mm socket, which I'll probably use about twice in my lifetime. This is about a tenner from eBay, and it's not used on impact, even though it is impact material. Okay, and then of course there's the I don't know who these are, Curtis and Wright. This one I've had for absolutely years. I think I picked this up in a car boot sale, inch and 5/8. Used it about twice. So these break. I've had one smash on me, and it's always wise to use goggles when you're using air guns. This one here, I don't know where this came from, 36mm, used quite often, Mito, and it hasn't cracked yet. So basically, yeah, there's my 3/4. All of my 1/2 inch, like up here, these are all snap-on or blue point. As the smaller they get, the cheaper I get them, because I don't use small sockets. There's brittle. These I got these when I first started fitting. This one's a snap-on one, and it's only ever used with a ratchet, not badly worn at all. So snap-on keeps going. And this one here is a chromo. I had no idea this was eBay special. Don't use it much, 27mm, just for things like sprinter wheel nuts. Now this one I also had, a snap-on I bought when I first started trailer fitting, and it's fine, not worn up. Deltek again, a specialist. This one's a 17mm Allen key or hex. I never used it. I actually bought this accidentally. It should have been a 14mm for doing caliper bolts or set screws. This one's G-door, and it's already wearing. You see that? It's already wearing. I'm not impressed with this at all. I've had this about 2 months, and it's not good. Whereas Deltek will actually work better and last longer than G-door. Just to give you an idea, there's probably about £3,000 worth of sockets alone, not including the cheap ones. It could be more expensive. What I actually do is treat these as consumables because they wear up, so I budget and I take £1 an hour off my wages to pay for tools, which I budget over the year is actually quite a lot of money.